boys and girls. I wanted to go over a strategy with you today that helps with how to break down word problems when it comes to solving, especially multi-step word problems. This is called the C.U.B.E.S method. And so C.U.B.E.S actually stands for different things. Excuse me. The first thing that it stands for is C for circling the key numbers. If they are written in word form, write the standard form above the words. That's just a little hint that helps me out. And then U is where you underline the question. What are you being asked to solve? B is you're going to box any clue words, and these words will tell you what to do to solve the problem. E is to evaluate what steps you should take and eliminate any extra information, and that's a big deal too. And then the last one, S, is to solve and check. Does my answer make sense? How can I double check my work? Use the inverse operation is what that says down there, which means if you had to add, you use subtraction to check your answer. So I'm going to show you how to do that electronically or online, since that's mostly what we're doing here. So when you have word problems like this, you can actually use drawing tools to help you out. Oops, sorry. So one way that you can use the drawing tools, let's not let me grab these little bits here. One way that you can use the drawing tools is by inserting a circle and a box and underlines. It's very easy. So we're going to break this problem down together. Bulldog Elementary School has a total of 821 students. If 105 students are absent due to a heavy snowfall on that particular day, how many students do they have in classes that day? I have to read questions a couple times, so I'm going to read it again. Bulldog Elementary School has a total of 821 students. Okay, well, I know that's a number, so I'm going to circle it. I'm going to use this little circle I drew here. It's not quite big enough, so I'll just stretch it out. Okay, so I circled that number, so that's the first step. And then actually here's another number. It's right here, 105. And like I said, what I would do is I would write that in standard form right above it. Oh my goodness, it's being difficult. So I'm going to do that. This is the number 105. So I'm just going to put it above the 1 here. But that's what it's talking about. So the 100 students are absent, so that means they're not there. Excuse me. They're not there because of the heavy snowfall. And how many students do they have in classes that day? So we know it's subtraction because there's students that are gone, therefore it's taking it away. So that's something to think about. Then I'm going to underline the question. So the question is how many students, so how many, starts here, students, how many students do they have in class that day? So notice I underlined just this part of the question. I didn't underline if 100 students are absent due to blah, blah. I'm just underlining what I need to know. And what do I need to know? I need to know how many students do they have in class that day. The box is going to be, what is the keyword that tells us what we're doing here? Well, to me, it's definitely, oh my goodness gracious. You just have to be patient with it, guys. The word that sticks out to me is the word absent, because it says absent means that would be subtraction because you're taking away. So that's something to think about also. All right, so then we've now circled the numbers. We've underlined the question. We've boxed the keywords. How many could be another one, but that's pretty given. Evaluate and draw. So evaluate, how are we going to solve this problem? Eliminate any extra information. We don't really have any extra information, so that's okay. So we're going to go ahead and solve the problem now. So the first thing I'm going to look at, can I subtract 1 minus 5? I cannot. So that 1 actually becomes an 11. So I'm going to cross it out with my little dashed line here. Again, these are all like little fun tech tools that you can use. My 1 and 11 are going to move together because the 1 becomes an 11 because I borrowed a group of 10. And we know when we borrow from the tens place, we had to deduct it down by 1. So now we can do the math. 11 minus 5 we know is 6. So I'm going to move that 6 over. I kind of had this done ahead of time just so it made this lesson a little faster. Then 1 minus 0 is 1. So I'm going to move that 1 over. This could easily be done on a piece of paper. I'm just modeling, like I said, for you guys how to break it down using the C.U.B.E.S method. Okay, and pretty easy. This one wasn't really multi-step. You didn't have to do more than one thing, which makes it a little easier. So definitely continue using this strategy of circling, underlining, boxing, thinking about how are you going to solve the problem, and then actually solving it using that method every time. I would highly recommend anytime you have problems like on the computer, writing the problem down on a piece of paper so that you can do the C.U.B.E.S method. So I would not use a dry erase marker and board to write a whole problem down, but definitely pencil paper and then breaking it down using the C.U.B.E.S method and then solving it and then entering your answer on the computer. That will help a lot of you in many ways. So please take the time to try that strategy out today as you are solving addition and subtraction problems using word problems. All right, thanks for listening all the way to the end.